Hi guys, I'm Joey, and this is We Love College Waterski, the podcast where I'm going to talk to every collegiate ski team in the country. This week, I'm actually talking to three teams: Dayton, OU, and Akron. Joining me is Mark Lauterbatch, Jake French, and Jaret French. You guys want to say hi?
What's up?
So the reason why I'm talking to three teams at once is that these three teams are notable among at least the Great Lakes Conference for being such tight-knit teams where we basically do everything together. Start off the interview. Just want to ask you guys, how'd you get into skiing?
Well, I know for Jared and I, it started out, we were pretty young. We did a yearly trip to Salt Fork State Park in kind of central Ohio, and our grandpa had a boat, so we'd get to ski pretty much once a year for a week. And that was from when we were, basically born until, we still go there now, but we ended up getting a boat when we were, I think I was 13 or 14. So we started skiing a lot more when we were around 13, 14 years old. But it was really just once a week or a whole week for a year growing up. And we learned how to two ski and slalom then. And then when we were 13 to 14, we started learning a bunch more stuff. So
I'm basically on the same line. But instead of a grandpa, it was my cousin's house up in Devil's Lake up in Michigan, where I'd ski, once a weekend every summer up until I was all the way through high school. I never had my own boat or anything. My family never got a boat. But once I was in college, I went to a career fair, up the orgs, which is you can go look at the different clubs and stuff on campus. And I kind of randomly signed up for the team and just fell in love with it after the first tournament down in Miami, or down in Cincy. So
Great.
kind of how I got into it.
I love hearing all the different ways that people have gotten into it. And almost always it's a family, not even them having a boat. It's a family friend, and you can go a couple times, come to college, and then just absolutely love it from there. So what events do you guys do?
Really, I think Mark and Jarrett would probably both agree with this. Our teams, it's always kind of been, you're going to at least try all three. It's not like we're forcing people, but for myself, I do all three. I wouldn't say I think all three of us are not the best jumpers, but we at least go over the ramp. And,
and we're jumpers, we're not landers.
Yeah. But, we just, I don't know. We love trying to get everyone involved, and whoever's willing to go over and try something new, because most of the people that we get are usually wakeboarders or have been out on the water at least, a couple times. So I think when people show up to, for OU, they have Yellow Dog Lake, and Dayton. I know you guys have a private ski site. When people, I think, show up there, they're really impressed and surprised with, what people can do on the water. And, they're just interested and, tuned in from there on out.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool.
Yeah. So I guess I also compete in all three events. But I'm more of a wakeboarder, so I've turned away from doing the slalom course because we finally have 5 kids on our team that can run a full pass. So I can finally not have to run the slalom course on a wakeboard anymore for our team, which is nice. But yeah, I try in all three. I'm not that good, but it's okay. So.
Yeah, I do all three as well. Just learned the slalom course 2 years ago. I can trick ski. Just landing jumps is pretty much our team's motto. Don't really go for the footage.
Like Mark said, it seems also for anyone unaware, I keep saying former team when talking about Cincy. I go to Akron now, so Jake's team is my team.
Yep.
Yeah. Like Mark said, most people on our team are definitely jumpers and not landers, but it's a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, exactly.
We got a jump team, not a land team.
So, because I came to this team, I don't know too much about like the history between these three teams. So, do you guys know why Dayton, Akron, and OU are so close, like socially and things like that?
Mark might know a little
Yeah.
bit more than me. I'm not sure exactly, but I know it's people that, because I originally went to OU, and when I got to OU, there was Meg Deely was running the team, and Dayton had Riley.
Johnson. Yeah, so Riley
He's a
Johnston.
sibling combo across Dayton and OU, and then
Yes.
like it grew to Akron when Jake transferred to Akron and created that team.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I think this kind of all started, I mean, and I think it even started before Meg and Riley. Like,
So
I think
it was
OU and Dayton, I think, have been close for, years now. So
yeah. Riley Johnstone was our president my freshman year, and he kind of brought our club back because the president before him didn't like do tournaments or anything. But Riley had an older sister, I'm pretty sure, that was on the OU team.
Yep.
And so that's how we started like camping out with OU and like, I don't know, getting to know them better. And then like obviously you two kind of help bridge the gap into us with Akron. So
yeah. Yeah. And like Jaret said, like it's a kind of right now it's a big time sibling thing too, because you have Meg at Dayton and Katie at OU and they're sisters. And then Jaret's at OU, I'm at Akron, we're brothers. And then I also have my sister on the Akron team. So it's definitely, we're kind of all connected that way as well. But like before us, we've been tight knit for probably 6-7 years now. So
yeah, it's been a while.
yeah.
Cool. And with that, like, what goes into being tight knit? Like, do you guys do things together, like outside tournaments, or is it tournament season?
We definitely do things outside a little bit. Unfortunately, because of this year, we couldn't do it. But normally, like the Dayton team and the Akron team would go down to OU in the fall and visit them, do a weekend there, and then we'll normally get together like once a summer and do like a big trip together. So try to do things outside of ski.
Yeah, and a lot of our team just honestly likes the same stuff outside of water skiing too. Like a lot of our team is big snow skiers, and I know a lot of the Akron team, and I know some Dayton members are big into dirt biking, four-wheeling, like all that kind of stuff. So we just have snowmobiling. We have a common interest in, and we've just all become good friends and are able to hang out outside of water skiing as well. But and tournaments is just, I mean, it's like a complete family. Like we jokingly call ourselves one team. But
we are one team.
To some degree we kind of are. So
my freshman year, Meg Deely ran the dock for our Dayton team. Like, we didn't even have like a Dayton representative over there, but she was getting all like the Dayton freshmen ready.
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes we cheer more for each other's teams than we almost do our own. Like we are like we're all pretty much one team. It's pretty awesome.
So with tournaments, were any of you guys involved in the decision to move off-site when Van Wert went dry? Because I know that was like a big thing that like separates.
I don't think
that was before our time.
Yeah, that was because my first year it was kind of already a decision that that's what we did. So I just went along with it. I've always heard like Mag and all them would talk about back when we were still at Van Wert and on site with everyone and how much of a blast it was and all that stuff. And whoever made the decision, I just don't think wanted to, I don't know. They just wanted to try something new. And these are the three teams that kind of followed suit with whoever, decided on that decision. So.
So one of the big reasons I want to talk to like you three collectively is Houseboat. So you guys want to talk about like what Houseboat is, how it goes, uh, who's all involved with that?
Yeah. Like we started, like OU has done a trip for, I mean, shoot, 10 years. I mean, it's been forever.
It's been a
They've always done their annual trip. And I think Dayton was also kind of a part of that the whole way through. And I think even BG was a little bit a part of that years ago. But recently, like since us three have been on the teams and kind of had somewhat a role of, being in charge and stuff, we've it's been Lake Norris, Tennessee, and we've done Houseboats. And I mean, it's really just the presidents of the teams have come together and put everything on, like set everything up for everyone and priced everything out and let everyone know. And usually every year we come out and send a mass message to everyone, like who's interested in this. And usually it's, I mean, a ton of people are responding, yes, like I really want to go. Like we'll literally get 40, 50 people interested. And usually by the time Houseboat rolls around and people actually need to pay and, book the boat, we usually end up having around 30-ish. And we've been lucky the past couple of years that we've had people who are able to bring, boats. Like 2 years ago, I think we had 4 ski/wake boats, 5. And then last year we had 6. And last year, even with COVID, like we were expecting to have 3 houseboats and, 7 ski/wake boats come and a bunch of people. And that kind of changed with COVID. And this year I know it's going to be really different because COVID's kind of still messing stuff up. And, we're still figuring things out for this year and seeing what's up. But
yeah.
I
mean, Houseboat. Yeah, go for it.
Oh yeah, I was about to say you might have been saying the same thing. Houseboat is like the ultimate bonding experience.
Yeah.
Like 2 years ago, I think I probably knew only like a couple people going on the trip, and literally you go out a houseboat like best friends. Like it's amazing.
Yeah, I mean we park ourselves on an island for a week. We have little to no cell phone service, so
Yeah.
it's just you're kind of forced to hang out with everyone. So and it's kind of funny because I didn't go last year, but 2 years ago, I mean we have only so many beds. We have more people than beds, so I mean people are crashing on like we have like Dayton boats and like OU boat or whatever, and the Akron boat, and people are just sleeping, on the floors everywhere. Like it's so much fun.
Yeah, I remember Dan just dropped wherever. One time I think he woke up in the woods next to the boat.
Yeah. Yeah, it's craziness. Yeah. And like they were saying too, like it's the ultimate bonding thing because literally 2 years ago, I mean Akron's team wasn't really a big thing 2 years ago. I mean, we didn't have many members. So that first houseboat that Akron was really trying to go, like I barely knew my own team. Like the Mondays were still very new to me and they had a couple friends coming. So literally on Houseboat, I was meeting people on my own team for the first time. And like, I mean, it was just unreal how it turned out and what it's turned into. I mean, it's been pretty awesome.
Yeah. I know one of my favorite things from last year's trip was definitely like teaching like Sydney how to ski. And now she's like on our team. We had like literally on the thing who were just there because it was something to do. And now they're like part of our team and active and like knowing people now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So what kind of planning goes into doing these big events, like going down to OU for a week, for a formal weekend for Houseboat? Like what kind of communication goes on between the teams?
Well, it's kind of like a tradition now. So like we kind of like know like, oh, this is a time of year, like, oh, we should book the houseboats, like, oh, like the OU social is coming up, like we gotta find houses for people to stay at, and we have like a chat with messages go back and forth in. Any you guys want to add?
Yeah, I mean, for that, like Jared said, we have a chat, like we have a P and VP chat between our three teams. And, if someone has an idea to do something or if anything comes up, someone sends something in there usually, and the other teams respond, and we decide, as a group what we'd like to do. And like for the social stuff, like I know, like we've been trying to go to each other's schools and not, because we usually have always just gone to OU, because I mean OU is, anyone who knows Ohio University, I mean it's pretty awesome to say the least. And I know they did an event at Dayton, I think a year or two ago, where the ski teams were invited, and I mean I wasn't able to go to that, but I know everyone who went was like, oh my gosh, like we got to keep coming back to Dayton, like that was awesome. And
Yeah.
We've had some smaller things here in Akron the past year or two as well, where we've had some people come, and it's been a blast. Everywhere our groups go together, it's a fun time. So.
Mark, do you have anything to add?
Not really. I mean, I think they wrapped it up pretty well.
So, so do you guys see any of the like big benefits from having your teams being so close, like as like friends and things like that?
I think granted, like I haven't been a president in like for a tournament, but like for every tournament that I've been to, like seeing us be like one team makes everything a lot easier, whether that be, getting people ready at the dock or actually making sure we have food for people, like for like lunches and stuff like that. Like, and, just being able to have like, instead of having one person to rely on for information as like their president, like you have 3 or 4 people from like the different teams and stuff that like know what's going on. We can be comfortable with talking to them about whatever, like, I don't know, getting ready for the tournament. I think that's kind of like the biggest benefit that I've seen is how smoothly tournaments can run because of how close we are. So.
Yeah, like kind of like the first tournament of the year. Like I remember like last season we had or whatever, like we like introduce our new team members to like the other teams or like Akron and Dayton and be like, all right, like you can go to this person if you need anything or I'm not around, or just that makes, like what Mark said, everything easier.
And we've been around each other for so long now that pretty much any event we do, we've had, like for Houseboat, we literally have like Dan Mundy wrote out all these Excel sheets for, food we need, like just all the stuff we would need to bring. So for future people down the road, they can pull that up and be like, okay, like I know what we need to get, what we need to do, who we need to talk to. And we pretty much have something similar to that for all of our events we do, like snow ski trips. I know we have an Excel sheet somewhere that, has what we might need to bring to that and stuff like that. And so it's just gotten so smooth the past couple of years. And like Jared said, with freshmen, it just makes it so much easier because they have so many people to talk to for information.
Yeah, freshmen don't know, like it's kind of funny to like watch freshmen at like tournaments and stuff because they don't know who's on whose team. So
yeah,
because I mean it all seems the same to them, So it's kind of funny because like I'll see freshmen talking to like kids from our own team and they won't even like realize that they're dating people. They're like, oh, like what do you go to? It's kind of
that's a funny thing we have among our teams is we all wear each other's like school's gear. So like my first tournament, I had no clue. Like I thought like this kid like went to OU the whole time, but no, he was really like a Dayton student. And I was like, oh wow. So it's pretty interesting. And parents, like when parents come, they get all thrown off too. It's pretty funny.
I know with me with that, this past year, Adam from one of Dayton or OU, I'm still not clear on where he goes, but like I've seen them at everything. He's a great person to talk to, and I always guess and get it wrong.
It's Adam Marisi. He goes to Dayton.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's probably, I don't know. He's a very friendly guy, so probably, yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
So with that, What would you guys say to any team looking to establish themselves more socially? Trying to like build connections, kind of like what you guys have.
Go to Mexico at tournaments. That's where it
Yes.
starts. Mexico's the
Yeah.
big place. I mean, that's
Yeah.
where like a couple years ago, I remember getting kind of closer to the Michigan team in the, I think it was Indiana, that went to like the same like Mexican restaurant as us, and it forced us to like all hang out for a while. And like same thing with like going to like Old South and stuff like that when we're up in Van Wert, like the easy way to establish yourself socially is like to be at the bar that like we're all at. So, because like it's kind of hard because we camp off site, at least for the Van Wert tournaments we have been. So it's kind of hard to like, I guess, not like get in with us socially, but it can be hard because we can't hang out like really once skiing has stopped unless we're doing something else. But I don't know. That helps.
Yeah. That was good.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, easy. So, because OU, Dayton, and Akron are all small teams, where do you guys personally want to see your teams grow? Like either score wise, member wise, anything?
So, okay. Yeah.
I mean, for Akron, which I think Joey, I mean, you've kind of been a big part of our team this past year and kind of know what our goals kind of were. I mean, we literally sat down with everyone and asked what their personal goals were and what our team goals were. And I think this coming year, if it wasn't for COVID, like we had a big push for trying to honestly get to nationals. And you never know, but I think we had a decent shot at it. Like I know slalom this coming year, our team was going to be probably pretty eye-opening. And I mean, score-wise, you always want to get better in, all three events. And socially too, like, I mean, I really wanted to this coming year get our practices a little bit more just organized and like a regular thing. Like it's just, something we do pretty much every day, like during ski season. That was socially between the teams, I feel like we do a lot anyways. I mean, doing more is probably always better, but yeah, to improve on our practices and how that works and obviously our tournament scores would have been awesome.
Yeah, for our team, we were trying to make a push to get past conferences this year. I mean, last year we redshirted two of our best skiers. I mean, Jason didn't ski for our A team and neither did Meg. So we tried to redshirt them in order to make a push this year. I think we would have had a chance. So obviously we're trying to get better in scores. And we're really trying to work on our women's team. It's kind of like the big push for us because our men's team, we have 5 people that can finally land a jump. We have 5 people that can run a pass, and our trick team's okay. But our women's team is finally coming around where we're starting to get the numbers to be able to like not specialize people, but like we have someone that's like not that good at slalom, then we can like focus them more into trick, which is like really weak for our team. And I guess another big thing that we've been looking to do is our team we don't have our own boat. Like we don't have a team boat here. And we've kind of relied on the past 3 years, either one of our students bringing their boat down. So like Jason has his boat down here. And before that, Riley Johnston, our old president, also had his boat down here. So like we have been trying to make a push into getting our own team boat to allow us to practice them more than twice a week. So yeah, we've been looking to do like fundraisers. Wasn't for Corona, I was going to try to do a parent alumni tournament here, try to do like a big fundraiser where it was kind of like an off the grid tournament, and hopefully we could raise enough money to start a fund to actually get a boat, but we're not there yet. So that's kind of like our next big push, just to try to get a team boat or at least start leasing one for us. So that's where hopefully within 5 years our team will have our own boat. So maybe even a jump on our lake. We don't have a team. We don't have a jump on our practice lake, so makes our jump team not that good because we can't. We only jump in tournaments. But yeah, hopefully within the next couple of years we'll be able to get our own boat and then push our way out of conferences. It's kind of the dream.
Yeah, for OU, I'd say the biggest goal is just trying to get more members, mainly mainly getting members to tournaments. Because like OU, we have like a social team and then like a tournament team, which like the better skiers actually go to the tournaments. And we always get like 30-ish social members that just like go to our site, which is like 10 minutes off campus, and really try to like develop them. And we get people to transfer over to the tournament eventually. We try to like get them to come to a tournament and like see how awesome it is. And then once we like get them there, normally they join. Then actually like performance wise, we're actually looking pretty good this past year. And last year, I think we had like the most people like running a slalom pass in like team history, or maybe not team history, but recent history. And also like what Mark said with fundraising, our site we use we rent is kind of expensive, and I feel like more members we have and like get more dues, it'll help out a lot.
Yeah, and I know one thing for Akron that is like something we're kind of struggling with, which Joe, is fundraising. And it's kind of for the same reason, like the reason we need fundraising so bad is kind of what Mark was saying. Like we also don't have a team boat or a jump. So, and we don't even have a private site to go to. Like we ski on public water, which makes it tough because running the course, like we have to be there either super early in the morning or late at night when the sun's going down. Like those are really our only two times to run the course. Like, we've had, you can trick whenever, which is nice. So we can at least always go out there and work on something. But like, I think Mark and I definitely, realize like to get our teams to the next level, that's kind of what we need our teams to focus on is those two things. Cause I mean, if you look at all the better teams in the Midwest or any of the Southern teams who are really good, they have a consistent site and they have a team boat, and that makes everything and a jump. Yeah. And
jump
it makes
everything. Your points.
Exactly. Yeah. And it makes just everything so much easier. So
with that, I've noticed huge points, like because everyone in the Midwest hates it. Trick can get you so many points.
mm-hmm.
If anyone's watching who doesn't know how team scoring works, it's your actual score doesn't matter at all. It's who you beat. And so when you have a huge, like the first person to run a pass in the tournament will probably score like 200-300 points because the previous 20 people didn't.
Yeah.
And trick, there's log jams at sides, like 2 side slides or 2 side slides in the back. So if you can break like on wakeboards, why those are so valuable in collegiate tournaments is because it's a lot easier to get 210 points. And with that, you soar past the first 2 rounds of trickers who can't get more than 200.
Mm-hmm.
And so what's your guys' favorite social memory from being on a ski team?
I guess my favorite social memory is not having a memory at OU.
Yeah.
OU, I have not had a bad time at OU ever. I mean, every time like I've gone there to like see the team, it's like such a good way for us, like because like not everyone goes to tournaments, and especially not a lot of the older people. So like going to visit OU is a lot of fun because we're able to see some of the older members. We're able to meet some of the social members, which obviously like we wouldn't see at tournaments. And I mean, I don't know. I remember we stayed at Justin Bruno's house when I was like a sophomore, and for some reason we all woke up at like 5:30 in the morning and went and got breakfast. And like we're all like, so excited to go, and we got there, and I mean everyone was just like fucking dead, like it was so bad. But yeah, it was it's just so funny. Every time we go to OU and just, I don't know, hang out, go to bars. And I mean, not last year, but 2 years ago, Alley Cat was our bartender, which was a lot of fun. She was an ex-ski team member. So, going to her bar and like having her bartend for us was a lot of fun. So
Yeah.
Going to OU is always been one of my favorite things to do.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it would be the same thing. Ski team socials and just hanging out with the other two teams. It's always the most fun. And Houseboat, I mean, is unreal. I mean, it's just a blur for a whole week of just doing, as much skiing as we possibly can, as much team building as we possibly can. I mean, bonfires, I mean, card games, I mean, name anything. I mean, it's going down at Houseboat. So
yeah, it's a bunch of bored college kids. What do you expect?
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, I'd say probably Houseboat's number one. I think everybody that's gone always looks forward to it like the next year, and always has a countdown on how many days to like our next Houseboat. And yeah, the OU social is always fun. I guess our practices, like when we can't, or not really our practices, but like we camp out on where we ski at our lake. Those are always a blast too, and good team building there.
Yeah, like OU's sites like owner is a fantastic guy, and he lets us camp out there, and he has a little cabin that he lets the teams use sometimes, and I mean it's an absolute blast.
Yeah, and he had his first summer tournament, like not this past year, but the year before, and we try to get people to go to that, and hopefully he does one this coming year, and we can get some people there.
Yeah.
All right. With that last question, what's your guys' favorite on the water memory?
Oh, that's easy. Landing my first jump down in Hamilton, Ohio. Oh my God, that was electric because I missed my first jump. And then I remember landing my second one, and I was 0 for 17 going into it. And I just remember making the turn after landing it and just seeing Dayton, OU, and Akron like going crazy. That was just electric. Oh my God.
Yeah, I don't think any of us could top that. That was awesome.
Oh my God, that was awesome.
Yeah, that was sweet.
Yeah, mine was probably running my first slalom pass on the same lake. I ran my opener, and then I was just like so excited because it was my first like collegiate like full pass, I guess. And on my way back, I fell like at ball one, so I got like I got 1/4 of a ball at 30 miles an hour, 15 off.
At PR.
Yeah, that was a personal best at the time.
For me, I don't know what, I mean, the most recent on the water thing for me was just, which I think these guys all know, like me being down in South Carolina. I mean, just as much as I learned about just slaloming itself from Adam Caldwell down there was eye-opening and unreal. But I would say like tournament-wise, honestly, it was probably when I was back at OU. My goal was to run a slalom pass. I think it was trick at least 400 and then land a jump. And I was able to do all three of those my first year out. And that was like my first year ever even trying a course. And second year with the trick ski. And I was like, Jaret and I were on a show ski team for a while. So I had landed a jump before, but to do it in a tournament was pretty awesome. So that was probably my biggest thing, I would say.
Great. thank you guys so much. That's the last question I had. You guys have anything to add before we time out in 2:50?
If your team wants to do a houseboat trip, you can contact us and we help you like with all the details and stuff because that's a blast.
We recommend.
Yeah. And I would just say to other teams out there, like, find a team that, like, find another team to hang out with because it just adds so much.
Get so many more connections.
So many more connections, and there's so much more stuff to do. And if it's a team that's fairly close to each other, like distance-wise, like us and Dayton aren't too far. OU's a little far, but
Please just in the
not
middle
bad.
of nowhere.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, like, just having other connections close by is awesome. So.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much. Thank you everyone who decided to watch this much. And have a great day, guys.
Awesome.
See ya.